Some wise words from Peter Capaldi there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NuWhoZone. It's Sunday evening. You know what that means. It's NuWhoZone. And after yesterday's stream, where I was forced to watch a Colin Baker story, I actually get to watch a doctor that I actually enjoy. So we're here for the God Complex. Yeah, and I love this story, actually. I find it very creepy. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on my panel. Actually, I did send emails to everybody. I don't know if PD is actually streaming on another stream, but he normally does be here. So we'll just wait and see if he comes into the chat, and then I'll let him know that we have an email. But let's bring on our guests that we have here with us so far tonight. We've got royalty as usual. Yeah, as you know, we're very good on this channel because, you know, as I said, we've got two royal members, but we've got Queen Charlotte. How are you, Queen Charlotte? How are you?
Good. We're watching Matt. I'm always in a good mood when we watch Matt.
Yes, you are. You are. Yeah, I do love this story, I have to say. So, yeah, I can't wait for this one, actually. Let's bring on our second guest. Again, we got royalty. It's the one and only Queen Problem Bing.
Hello, I'm a royal member.
How are you, mate?
Royally very well, thank you very much.
That's good. That's good. Now, don't put on the posh English accent. I can't stand it.
Oh no, we did that yesterday and like scared everybody.
I'll have you know, this is the way I naturally speak.
I'm sorry, but you can't talk like that. You know what I mean?
Fascist.
Right, let's bring on our next guest. Let's move swiftly on. He's real, but he's super. It's the one and only real super doctor.
Hey Noel, how you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you, pal? On this Sunday?
I'm doing great. Did you hear about the volcano in La Palma?
Yeah, I've seen a video of it started to erupt. Yeah, man.
Oh my god! Just think if this landslide happens.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. But listen, I've actually been watching videos on YouTube. As you know, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, as you know. Anyway, and I do like watching all these videos. But been watching videos. There's been over the last 2 years, volcanic eruptions have tripled.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something going on with the planet. There's definitely something going on, man. Even Yellowstone, a geezer that hadn't had stayed relatively non-active, all of a sudden has become active. And someone put up an interesting photograph of Yellowstone where they show this hill and then they show it side by side and it's sunk. It's sunk. So there's something definitely going on. And they've been very quiet about Yellowstone as well. So there's some stuff in it. We do have to start off today by a bit of sad news, actually. TARDIS Time has just put it in the chat there.
Very sad.
And I wouldn't even mind. I saw him only last week interacting with fans. Someone put up something got to do with Only Fools and Horses. They found some memorabilia and he was talking to that fan. And he's passed away. Cancer.
And he wanted to play the Doctor, didn't he, at one point?
Yeah.
That would have been very,
and Jimmy
very
Greaves has died as well.
Who?
Jimmy Greaves.
Oh, for God's sake, the footballer?
Yeah.
Wow. That was on the news today.
That was on the news today.
I don't watch the news.
86.
Well, that's a good innings, but still, Jimmy Greaves, he's one. He was part of this. Wasn't he part of the '66 World Cup team? Was he? Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem to be like this year and last year seems to be a lot of people of obviously a certain generation are just getting to an age now.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, man. It's sad. You know, a lot of these people did inspire the younger generation. People like myself and Lee and stuff. And it's you know. But look, we're all going to. It's the circle of life. Unfortunately, you know, we're all going to end up, you know, the same way. So you know, while it is sad, you know, that is the circle of life. We're all going to. Where is this bloody DVD? Oh, there it is. Where's the God Complex? Have I got this in the wrong CD? Do you know what I hate about these DVDs, by the way? Did you ever buy the new Who DVDs, right? They have these discs where they have them on the same, right? They have 2 discs on each
Yeah.
on each, yoke, but they have one underneath the other. But if the plastic part breaks, yeah, then it's very hard to put the. Have I even got the right series? No? Yeah, 6. We're on series 6.
Series 6. Let me see if I can. What's the episode number? Let me have a look. So it'll be on iPlayer. That's what I thought. Episode 11. If that helps.
The Girl Who Waited, Night Terrors, A Good Man Goes to War. Yeah, so it's not that one.
Right, so it's the one after A Girl Who Waited.
Oh,
So
there it is. See, it's at the front. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Right, I have it anyway. I have my DVD, so there's no watching on apps today because I've got my DVD. Is there a prequel to this episode, by the way?
Oh, I have no idea. Should I have a quick look on the YouTube and see if it gives me anything?
I better text PD Rich and just make sure that he's around. Tell him that I've sent him an email because he joins us. He joins us for classic.
Well, usually classic. He's wrenching, so he's late, but he's not doing that on Sundays usually. So he's usually here.
He's going to be joining us as well, I think, for the movie stream tomorrow, John. So
yeah.
And there's a couple of people that. Did you watch the trailer, by the way?
I watched a bit of it, but I was that tired last night. I just fell asleep last night. I was that tired.
Right. Okay. Well, as I said, check it out because it's going to be a good movie. You will enjoy it. But welcome everybody. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As I said, and
it looks like there's no prequel. No, I've just put it into Google.
No, there isn't a prequel.
What I put into the other stuff, and nothing's come up.
Well, then that's good news. That's good news. That's good news. We'll just see now. I've sent PD the message. Let's see if he's around. I'll give him a few minutes just in case. Does Rabbi doesn't stream on Sundays, does he?
No, he tends because he's offline, isn't he, by Sunday?
Yeah, he doesn't come back till Monday, doesn't he? No,
I think that's how it works, isn't it?
He puts out. He records a ton of videos for the end of the week. He pre-programs them to be released.
Yeah,
but he won't be live streaming, is what we're saying.
I don't think so. No, not on the Sunday. Oh, no, hold on. Sometimes doesn't he do like comic skate stuff on Sundays? I can't remember.
That's Saturday, isn't it? I thought that was his Saturday stream.
See, I get confused.
Yeah, that's Saturday. That's Saturday. I'm just checking to see if he is live. No, so I hope Paul's all right because he's normally here. He's normally here for this. He hasn't read.
He seemed in good spirits last night, so it could just be he's busy or something's come up.
Yeah. Well, we'll as I said, we'll give him a minute or two and we'll see what happens. But yeah, sad news again today, man. Jesus, just good people are. I'm not saying that everybody that passes away is not a good person, but you know what I mean. It's so sad. We've lost so many iconic actors and actresses and musicians and yes, obviously, ordinary everyday people as well. But it's I don't know, man. It's just like everywhere you look, there's someone's passed away. It's just getting ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe we're kind of hyper focused on it now because of all of this pandemic stuff, and maybe it's because you kind of
I think though it's just like I said, it's a certain generation that you just know once they're gone, we're never going to have that again because they sort of grew up in a completely different world almost.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thanks for the fucking notification, Pooh Tube. Oh, he's there. All right, I've sent you your email, pal. Sent you your email. See, it is YouTube. It is, but I've noticed my second channel. I'll go live and everybody will get a notification, no problem.
Yeah, because that channel's not on YouTube's little list yet. That's why.
Yeah, not yet. It probably will be because I rant and rave on that when I'm losing games. Jesus Christ, that'd be worse on that channel.
Yeah, but it's all right when it's a game because everybody does that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm watching this volcano live right now, and it seems to be getting worse and worse. Big ash cloud coming.
I'm telling you, man. There's. I've said this, right? There's something going on, right? And it's happening up in space. I've noticed there's a bright star in the sky. Well, it looks like a star, but I know about the disco ball one, the one that lights up and it moves around and it looks quite good because I have a telescope, right? But there's this other one that's just that it appeared out of nowhere. Nobody's talking about it, and to me, it's getting closer and closer. Right now, NASA have already said that there is an asteroid heading towards the planet, right? But are they lying about the time scale when this is supposed to be hitting? Oh, do you know what I was thinking last night, right? And people might think I'm crazy, but with all this pandemic stuff going on, with world governments, fighting their people, this is all a distraction. This is all a distraction.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was beginning to think. I think it was a distraction to what is actually happening in the world.
I'm starting to think that now, and you know what? Look, if it happens, it happens. But
if you take Rabbi's theory of like this is basically God punishing us all because of what's happened in the last couple of years to society and everything.
Yeah.
No,
it could be, but there's a lot of things.
I'm not really religious, so no, I don't buy that theory at all.
See, a lot of people are thinking it's a second coming that's happening here.
Yeah,
because of a lot of things that's happening.
I won't knock them for that. That's what they believe. But me, I like to look at facts, and the facts to me show that the planet is changing. And there's something going on up in space. And I don't care what anybody says. The sun and all, if you've looked over the last couple of decades, especially if you're my age and Lee's age, right? The sun is very yellow looking. That used to be orange, right?
Yeah. Do you ever remember that the sun could just pour right through your windows and it'd be deep red, orange, and it would give you a headache, and it'd be so strong that you'd have to shut the blinds or move somewhere else?
Yeah, telling you, man. Even the moon, right?
Yeah.
Because I got a telescope, right? That either the Earth has shifted, which I think it has. I think it's shifted on its axis, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the moon, it's not the same in the sky. But people don't really look up into the sky. It's something that we kind of ignore, like the oceans. We haven't really explored the oceans either. Same with the sky, man. Nobody really looks up at the stars or looks up at the sky. Right, so I notice these things because I have a telescope. I'm mad into all of that. The family got together and got me a telescope, and it's a good ass telescope because I can see Jupiter and stuff like that on this telescope. So I'm looking directly at the moon, and I'm telling you now, the poles have either shifted or the moon has shifted, but something's happened, right? And the solar flares as well. There's some dodgy shit going on with the solar flares that NASA is keeping to themselves. I'm telling you, man, there's something going on. They're not telling us. But here, let's bring on PD Rich before people think I've lost my complete mind here and say, he's gone cuckoos. It's the one only PD Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's something going on. There's something going on everywhere. I mean, the UK is about to hit another high era of high interest. It's going to probably be another Labour government in a few years' time.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like someone's literally taken the world, turned it upside down, and shook in it, and just left it.
Yeah.
It's like everything's backwards and upside down.
I agree, man. It feels like that.
If you could remember at the end of time with Gallifrey coming back, Gallifrey kind of symbolises Nibiru in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I agree because what we don't realise is that media like that do actually predict stuff, right? But at the time when we're watching it, we don't put two and two together. But I won't get into the whole 9/11 thing. But if you look at that and look before that incident and go back through time in the media, in movies, in TV shows, in children's cartoons, they were actually predicting all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I won't into it because it does, you go down a rabbit hole with it, and I don't thinking I'm a mad conspiracy theorist, but you should check it out. Very interesting. But here, listen, we're here for the God Complex, folks. Before we start this, as we always do, guys, just briefly tell me, were you a fan of this episode at the time, yes or no?
Yes, massively.
Yes. I thought it was an astounding episode. I thought it was really kind of challenging, and I quite liked the actress that was in it, and I thought she would have been a good companion.
She was good, yeah.
That's what I'm meaning.
Yeah, I really loved it because whenever the show properly delves into the Doctor's psyche, whenever the show properly sort of challenges his psyche, and I think, and also the Amy stuff, which I think gets forgotten a bit. Like, there's some really good Amy storyline, and it's sort of, I love what happens near the end with her and the Doctor. Because I think that was such a refreshing thing to see a companion like admit that they had an over-reliance and admit this and have to almost break away from it. And I love that scene near the end. I think it's absolutely beautiful with the way it's shot, the music, the acting, everything.
Dig, were you a fan of this story when it first came out?
I really was kind of more tuned out at this point.
Were you?
To be honest, yeah, I was. I think I was quite busy at the time as well, so I had a lot going on. So it'd be nice to sort of have a watch and let it sink in properly rather than going off my appalling memory.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is, hold on now. I'll just hold on. Start straight away, doesn't it yet with the thing? So just give me a second. Right. So I have at the very first scene.
I'm going to ask me.
I was going to say PD didn't say.
Come on, PD. I'm just getting you ready. Enigmatic has to live as well, and he's given it an 8 out of 10. So thank you for that rating.
See you soon, Joker. Actually, see you on Monday. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead, PD.
Oh, sorry, just bash the cloaking device, make sure it's off. There we go. Yeah, I didn't like the ending of this one. I thought it was too Star Trek. Oh, we're on a giant holodeck kind of thing.
Yeah. And the monster being, I think it was forgiveness or something like that.
That monster looked really cool though, and it just wasn't really used very well. It just saw bits of it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Thought you paid all that money for a monster you didn't use. Sorry, I'm going a bit Mel Brooks and Rabbi on this one. Paid all that money for a really cool monster and you hardly saw it. It wasn't used. It just died in the end, yeah. And it could have been a relation to another creature, but
Yeah. I like the fact that the Doctor looked into the room and saw something and you could hear the cloister bell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they never show.
Yeah.
I think that would have been such an easy thing for them to do as well, just to show what was in the room, and they didn't.
I think it was the Doctor's death.
I always thought it was the War Doctor after we got that introduction. I always thought it was the War Doctor.
Well, well, the whole point of it was each room was kind of like the fear factor. So you were afraid of what was in this room. So what would the Doctor actually be afraid of? That was the question I think they were trying to.
I think he was afraid of his own death.
Yeah.
The fact that he's.
I thought it was death of the TARDIS.
Yeah. Death inside the TARDIS as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the War Doctor because of the way they reacted in the 50th around him. I always thought afterwards, it could be the War Doctor because why would all the Doctors not talk about him and act like he didn't exist if it wasn't out of a fear almost of him because of what he had to do in the Time War.
Yeah,
see, I thought that the War Doctor was actually going to be a replacement for the Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah.
Because I thought that Moffat was going to change the timeline and that the Ninth Doctor didn't exist, but there was this War Doctor was going to replace him.
Yeah, I'm actually bitter with Christopher Eccleston. He could have put his differences aside and came back for the 50th because Stephen Moffat said he was 90% there. and then the last minute he decides that he's not going to do it, and now he's bitching and moaning again, yet again. Like he's still not happy. Like, listen, Chris, we get it. You are treated badly by the BBC. We get it, right? But like, you know, I find it quite hypocritical. You're going out there charging fans more than any other doctor, more than anybody else at these conventions, right? You're doing big things and you've been handed a big wad of cash. I told all of you guys from day one when that was announced that the only reason why he was coming back was because they threw money at him, right? I did 3 videos on it when it was announced, right? This guy doesn't give a flying crap about Doctor Who. He's only back for the money.
No.
Now he's moaning again. We get it. BBC treated you like crap and blacklisted you, but you've got to get over it now. It happened bleeding fucking whatever how many years ago, like, you know, if it really does still bother you that much, go and seek therapy and talk to someone.
Yeah.
Right? But don't be coming out with stupid articles all the time. How BBC, how you're not, and you're working for Big Finish now. I find it quite cheeky, to be quite honest with you. And it's his fault that we didn't get him in the 50th. And we got the War Doctor. But you know what?
Do you know that's what Colin Baker said to me?
John Hurt was a great, inspired choice. And you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind the War Doctor because it is John Hurt. And let's be honest, he put his heart and soul into that role, and then he started doing big film audios before he passed away. So do you know what? I'm at peace with the War Doctor. But it should have been Christopher Eccleston. We all know.
Or Paul McGann, like we've all said. Couldn't get Chris.
Paul McGann, but they never asked Paul McGann. But you think he would have buried that? He would have come back for the biggest bloody episode, right? And he chose not to. So you know what? I'll always watch Christopher Eccleston season because I love it. But personally, I think he's a twat.
Yeah.
My opinion on it. But look, let's get into.
I tell you what, Mark. No, when I spoke to Colin Baker in person about 3 or 4 years ago, he even turned around and said he doesn't like Christopher Eccleston either. I know he's got megally woke, but seriously, he got resentment.
Colin Baker doesn't like him.
Exactly, my point. Yeah.
I said this before. Fans were saying, "No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. He's coming back because he loves that." No, he doesn't.
No, he's saying about loving the money. He's broke.
Then he contradicts himself and says that it was a hellish experience. Like, open your eyes. He's charging fans more than any other doctor out there. He doubled the price.
I only paid $25 for Colin Baker, and I got the super hot deal with the gold marker pen and the really good photos from his stage show.
And as Daniel says, John Hurt's audios are amazeballs. But let's get into this. I agree.
Anyway,
you know what? I've listened to a few. Right, I won't say how I've listened to them, but I have listened to a few, and I agree with you. Actually, I have listened to a couple of Colin Baker audios, and I will say, even though I don't like his doctor, his earlier audios are actually quite decent. I will agree with fans out there that say that are on Big Finish. So I would agree, but apparently he's gone off.
Yeah, Colin had a really bad regeneration episode and a very bad second season, I think.
Yeah. Right, is everybody in the chat ready? I have seen a few ones.
Yeah, I saw quite a few.
Is everybody else ready? Just throw in a few more ones there, and then we're going to get Charlotte to do the countdown as soon as we see the ones in the chat, and then we'll get this episode going. And while we're watching, John's going to be keeping an eye on that volcano.
What one's blowing? What one's going to blow?
It's La Palma.
Wow, is that one in That's one in Lanzarote, isn't it? Oh my! Oh dear!
It's
right now. It's got a huge lava fountain, and it's huge ash clouds.
I've actually been in that museum as well at La Palma in the underground cave place. Go to the museum. They've actually got the guy, all the counters registering the volcano.
I flew over it in 2017 on my way to Tenerife, and you see it is a massive crater.
Yeah.
And a wee small island, and I was looking down in it because I had the window seat. I was looking down in it.
So Timothy is going to pop its clogs,
Yeah, right, just looks that way.
Out in the fire,
let's get this going anyway. Wow. So Charlotte, if you want to If you want to do the old countdown there, love.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
And we are off. And we start off with the tape volume 2 of background music. All right.
Music, yeah.
Do-do-do. Oh, I see Daniel's put up a little video in support of Melina as well.
Yeah, I just liked it. So.
Fair play to you, Daniel.
Oh, where's he put it on his Twitter? I'll have to watch
He's
it later.
put it on his YouTube channel. I've just after seeing it there.
At first, I thought this was a Dalek.
Yeah.
But obviously, when it went on, I got it wrong.
Jesus, Daniel, you've put a lot of ones in the chat, haven't you, mate? He's like, come on, one.
Yeah, but that makes me think, Daniel, do you like this episode then? Because you did that last night.
Yeah,
the episode.
Lads, yeah, I'm starting to wonder, do you like this episode? Do you like this story, Daniel? Room 214. I know what my favorite room would be.
What would yours be?
Spiders.
Oh, yeah. See, mine would probably be a mixture of spiders and those old-fashioned, creepy ventriloquist dolls.
Oh. Right. I don't mind them, really. There was an episode of Torchwood where they kind of... It wasn't ventriloquism, but it was the old circus and...
Yeah, it's the way they made them back, like when they were proper wooden and like really the mouth was really like you could really clearly see the slats and when it would move about. It's just something creeps me out.
Yeah.
Like the modern ones I'm alright with.
Yeah. Daniel, if you want to come on, mate, and give your 2 cents, because like if you don't like it, then at least it'll be a different opinion. Because I think most of us on the panel.
Oh, he's giving it a 7, so he doesn't hate it by that mark.
No, I think he put the 7 in instead of because we were asking for. I don't know. I thought that was. We'll see now. Grand, I can't hear anybody's audio today. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Because Alpha's not on. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love the movie Arachnophobia. That's the thing, but the spiders in front of me. Forget about it, Dave. I run a mile. So there was a big ass spider here. There was right, and I called Cheryl to deal with it. I just can't deal with spiders.
See, for me, if they're little, I'm absolutely okay with them. It's the bigger they are, the more they freak me out.
Yeah.
I remember when I was staying in a hostel, right, and I was going to sleep. And now I always check the bed before I go to sleep. Yeah. But I was going to sleep and I could feel something on my leg, right? Literally pulled off the blanket and there was a spider crawling up my freaking leg.
Oh, don't.
Seriously, man, I freaked out.
Do you want to know how to get over that fear of spiders? Look up those little pygmy albino spiders, the little cute ones.
There's no such thing as a cute
spider. No, there is. There's those little jumping spiders, the little tiny ones.
Pygmy albino jumping spiders are cute.
They are so cute.
They're so cute. It's like
you guys are weird. There's no such.
But they got tiny little legs and big head, big 2 eyes at the front, and it's they're cute.
Well, no, but it's the eyes
very little
that are like freaky on spiders. How is it cute if they're bigger?
Because they look into your soul and you go, oh.
I don't think I'd ever say oh.
Oh, right. And then like they crawl up your nose or something.
These are too big for that. I think they just misunderstood. Very misunderstood.
Really? I watched a YouTube video. Not a YouTube video. A Facebook video of this horror got to do with spiders, and a woman's head was encased in the poor spiders into this plastic thing, and then she tries to bang the thing off her head, right, and then it falls off, and then the spiders.
Oh, I hate that film's crap.
Yeah, but I saw that last.
That's
night.
the last scene of the film, and it's crap. It's stupid.
All right, but I seen that yesterday.
Peter Stromier in it.
It's got that Russian guy in it that was in
Armageddon. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually, I think he's Swedish, isn't he?
Oh, is he Swedish?
He's actually Swedish, yeah.
All right, and he plays Russian all the time.
Yeah, he played the guy in Mercenaries. That was kind of fun.
God Complex is decent. Just a chat to do wants to help Noel out, but I truly hate Terror of the Real. Well, you're not the only one, mate. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I have to say, I remember everybody at the time saying that this nurse would make a great companion.
She would.
For Matt. Yeah. I have to agree.
Yeah.
Have to agree. This is the one with David Williams, the chicken in it.
Yeah, but he's actually not. He's actually all right in this because he's not. I think that's the problem with guest stars in Who. Sometimes they almost, especially if they're like comedy actors, they just play the persona they're known outside, like in the real world for.
I do prefer the guy in Before the Flood, though. I think he's a much better representation.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do like that two-parter, by the way.
Yeah, that's a great two-parter.
Is that thingy from from the double act? Is that the actor?
Yeah, that's David Williams from Little Britain.
No, the one you're talking about in Before the Flood. Is that one of the number thingy guys?
The mole creatures, yeah, I can't remember what they're called.
No, the actor. Number 9.
No, it's a different actor, but it's the same kind of creature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I said, I think Williams actually works in this story because he's playing a character. He's not playing David Williams. He's playing a character.
Yeah. I agree, and it's funny, isn't it? Him and Matt Lucas have both worked on Doctor Who.
Yeah, but Matt Lucas was just playing Matt Lucas, just give him a different name.
What me off those two is they apologise for Little Britain, and I don't think you should apologise for one of the best movies that you've ever done, because Little Britain is a great comedy. Even if you're not into British culture, this takes the piss out of it and stuff. And David Williams and Matt Lucas, they're geniuses. But the fact that they came out and apologised for blackface and all of this rubbish and
it was part of the comedy. It's the whole point.
When you had to apologise, David Williams had to apologise to Alicia Dixon because they were working on what's that show, the talent show that they do together.
Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah,
I thought to piss off.
And she had a bit of a spat with him when she found out that he'd done this skit, and he had to.
She's living in a bloody black hole or something.
I was going to say, I'm sorry, love. She knew that he'd done those before that time. She just used the opportunity.
She just had to be outraged because everybody has to be outraged.
That's it.
You know, you cannot, when it comes to comedy, you can't censor comedy. You can't.
Exactly.
You can't. That's where
censored comedy is awful.
But this guy I found very interesting in this. And there's Charlotte's Nightmares.
That's what I was going to say. These basically more woodenish versions of those.
Yeah. He reminded me of the businessman from Voyage of the Damned, though.
Yeah, but the difference was the businessman was supposed to be completely unlikable.
Yeah.
This guy is just freaked out and broken.
Yeah, Monty Python is king, but what I'm saying is Little Britain for our generation. We had Bo Selecta as well. That was very good. If anybody's ever watched Bo Selecta.
Yeah, Lee France hasn't done anything like it since.
Yeah, and then Ali G, right? Whether you like Ali G, but Ali G used to have a show where he got, and the one where he went to America to take the piss out of the Americans was brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, remember Little Britain in the USA? That was hilarious.
Yeah.
America didn't get it, but it was hilarious. Oh. Yeah, I love that show. I love the guy. I love the astronaut. Moon.
I love the fact where David Williams' character said, maybe someone will come and rescue us or enslave us, and start smiling.
Well, and also if you think about it, it's good little hints to what he does later on in the story.
Yeah.
Because we've sort of been introduced to his race and that they're being conquered all the time. So when he does what he does, you don't question it. You go, of course he would do that.
Yeah. Plays it well, though.
Yeah, Percy, I think you've got the right idea, Lugrum. Resistance is exact. Yeah.
And I think it's, to be fair, it's the makeup as well with the character. It's not overdone, which is sometimes that's a thing that they can do in the show, like overdo something, and it's just like he's just a rat man. Like, it's a very simple design.
Look at Peter Kay's cameo.
Oh
He's
God,
a great.
yeah.
Phoenix Knights was a great comedy, by the way, and Peter Kay is a funny guy. Right now, I do love of Monsters, as you know. I think it gets undue stick. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not supposed to be taken seriously, that episode. But even Peter Kay, when he played Mr. What's his name? Mr.
Look at the Doctor.
Yeah.
When he played the
I know why I didn't like this bit. It's how he's too stereotypical geeky, and it's like, oh, usual geeky stereotype. Yeah. I didn't find it very realistic. Anyway, what were you saying, Noel?
Yeah, I was just saying when he played Mr. What's his face before he turned into the alien.
Yeah, Victor Kennedy.
Victor Kennedy. Yeah, when he was Victor Kennedy, he was actually quite good, right?
Yeah.
As soon as he changed to the alien, then he hammed up too much.
Yeah, it was too dark.
It didn't work, but I still love that episode. I don't care.
Yeah, but it wasn't just the hamming. It was the fact you had this massive green fat alien that had an accent from Wigan.
Yeah.
Or Bolton, sorry. God, I got like, it just didn't work. It's like, really? Could you not make him not have that accent?
Yeah.
Like when he went, I'm from Clom, and it was just like, oh no.
Yeah, it was too hammy.
Like the sister planet of let's see if I can say it right. Raxacurb Valabatorius.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Clom. Oh.
Clom. Yeah, it made no fucking sense, man.
Raxacurb Valabatorius.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember when when that first came, everybody tried to say that? It was funny. Funny, man. Love it.
And it's sort of like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing, isn't it?
I know you hate the episode with a passion. One day I should get you on, Daniel, just so me and you could just do that separately, so people can hear.
Yeah, Daniel. Even I can't make like that episode good. I can at least make you sort of appreciate the badness of Fear Her for what it is.
Yeah, Fear Her is bad.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a weeping angle. It's a weeping angle.
They hadn't been ruined at this point, to be fair.
Yes, they hadn't ruined at this point. It'll be interesting to see what Chibnall does with them.
Ruins them.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, Paul. He didn't ruin the Daleks, and I know people disagree with me with that.
No, he ruined the Daleks.
He didn't. He made them more sinister.
He made his own Daleks and ruined them.
Well, I didn't like the own creation of the Daleks. I thought that was absolutely just.
I still think the best edit of that is the "Not My Daleks" video. That's so funny.
Moffat ruined the Daleks.
I'll be a bit more kinder. He probably won't ruin the Angels. But the problem is, any Doctor up against the Angels has to be clever.
Yeah. I am up for that now. Right, well, Daniel, whenever you're free, let me know. We'll do a one-off special of Love of Monsters.
Yeah. You'll have dumb weeping angels.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, he'll have to dumb them down or do something, because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
13th Doctor, I cannot see her outsmarting the Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, folks, people are saying he ruined the Daleks, but they're his Daleks. They're not our Daleks. These are
they're not Russell's Daleks.
They're like the Cybermen that RTD came up with.
And then again, as I said, Moffat ruined the Daleks with those Teletubby M&M Daleks.
He ruined the Daleks.
Moffat didn't know what to do with Daleks whatsoever.
Moffat didn't. No, he didn't. No, he hadn't got a clue what to do with them.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Doug Adams was the same though with the Daleks. He didn't really know what
I think the best thing that Chibnall did with the Daleks was when you had the mutant out of its casing and sort of possessing a human. That was interesting. That was a genuinely interesting concept. But
apart from it transman, I quite enjoyed Resolution.
Yeah,
it
just didn't pay off.
I'm telling you, his Dalek stories are not actually bad, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I do hate everything else he's done. But his Dalek stories are not bad. If you watch them back to back, all of his Dalek stories, they're actually not bad. They're not. I will defend them there. I think he's brought them. I think he's brought back some respectability when it's come with the Dalek. If you consider what Moffat did with them, Moffat turned them into a bit of a joke.
Yeah, turn them into kids' toys.
And then he brought the new paradigm forward, and then when that didn't go well, he just ignored them. Remember?
Then he retconned them out on the attraction on the Star Trek. Sorry, Doctor Who: The Adventure. You didn't even see it retconned out in the show.
No, all of Chris.
The Adventure. It's like, what are you doing?
Says JFO.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't like what he's done with Series 11 and 12, but when it comes to his specials, the Dalek specials, as I call them.
Well, the Resolution one bored me to tears. The second one I didn't watch, so I can't comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Moffat went,
since you committed, you haven't watched the other one, you know? So, like...
Then Moffat resurrected Skaro and didn't show how he did it. It was in City of the Daleks, a game. It was like, what? It's like he kept doing these things, putting all these massive plot points in like games and spin-offs.
That's the thing these people don't seem to understand is that, you know, it's not just Chibnall that we've had problems with. You know, we will speak our mind on, you know, every show, right? I had my issues with RTD, I had my issues with Moffat. Moffat than anything else. But
I agree. I had issues with RTD, but
and not a problem, you know, not a problem.
Well, it wasn't
Chibnall
back
all
then.
of a sudden was like, you couldn't say a word.
Exactly.
Yeah, how dare you criticize me? I am a genius. It's like, no, you're not.
I love that line. Sorry, the last time you said that to me, you hit me with a shoe. And the thing is, you go, yeah, Amy Bobby did hit him with a shoe.
Yeah,
it's Amy.
Amy's not a very nice person. That's quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's not a degree low, it's a doctor.
She has a bit of a violent streak when it suits her.
A little bit. Yeah. Poor Rory.
My mum used to have those cups back in the time.
God, yeah.
I used to like them.
Well, they kept your soup and your coffee and tea warm for longer.
Yeah. I liked those cups, and my mum got rid of them. Said, "Oh, I don't like them. They're horrible." And I was like,
yeah, they'll be back in fashion, and she'd be like, "I wish I hadn't thrown those in."
Yeah. Because when we got those cups and saucers over here, we're going to have decent food.
Oh, you're a Muslim. Don't be frightened. I mean, like, really?
Well, no. To be fair, I actually think this is the better way to do this sort of thing.
Modernist Muslim, yeah.
It's like when you first meet her, it's not brought up, and that's now my little rule I have in my head. That if I can know a character for like 10 minutes until certain traits or certain things get brought up, then I actually think that's the better way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not
but why would you say don't be afraid? Like, I mean, that's just not natural. I mean, you don't. That's just not a natural piece of dialogue at all.
Yeah, but that's the start of the representation starting to seep into the show. It starts kind of here.
Yeah, but what year did this come out? Because if we kind of, I'm trying to think of for why that line would be put in. If it came out in a certain year,
2011, I think.
Then they could be sort of winking a bit at what we know happened at a certain point in a certain year.
See, I have to be fair. Yeah. I think a lot of the stuff that ended up creeping into
10
this
years
era was forced by the BBC at the time.
Yeah.
And he had to do it, because if you hear the way he describes the Doctor with Mark Gatiss in that video, it contradicts everything that he did in the last couple of seasons. So I honestly believe...
I think it was Wagner. Got to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was he was forced, because he was being criticised by the feminists he was being called sexist and stuff.
Yeah, because he put Amy in like a short skirt. And
and apparently it was her choice.
A model. Yeah, and her character was a model at the time. It's like, so of course she's going to wear short skirts. She also show herself off. She's a bloody model, for God's sake.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's what makes me laugh about that scene that they all freaked out. It's like, guys, have you forgotten the other half of the scene where she hits him on the head with a cricket bat or whatever it was?
Yeah.
It's not like she's like helpless damsel, is it? She basically knocks him out.
Yeah.
And that has him handcuffed to a radiator. So he's the one really with the power in that moment.
Yeah. She also used to be a strippogram, didn't she?
Yeah, that's also what set them off.
Number 11 on the door. Number 11.
Oh.
Interesting. Because he's the 11th Doctor.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, his first episode, mate, the 11th
And
hour.
it's the TARDIS. So
Exploding,
maybe it's the TARDIS being what did they call it? Remember what the Master did to the TARDIS?
He cannibalized it.
It's the TARDIS. Maybe that's what his fear is. He goes to eat that fish, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this moment.
TARDIS exploding, yeah.
Look at his eyes.
The acting in this is Matt Smith is just
Yeah.
the Doctor, man. Seriously.
He's been so deliberate and quiet, and it's like he's biting his words out.
Yeah.
And when they could show this streak in Matt's Doctor, it was always such a like you sort of get goosebumps because it goes against his surface level traits of goofy, childish,
Yeah.
sort of jokey Doctor, and like when they could just show those little streaks. Because I'll be, and maybe this is my bias talking, but here's a question then. Out of all the, if we keep it to modern, so it's a bit simpler, which modern Doctor would you least want to get on the bad side of?
Oh, Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Capaldi.
I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of Peter Capaldi's Doctor, no. And same with Matt Smith's Doctor, actually.
I'd be Matt.
I mean, that was I think it was Kill the Moon that Clara turned round to the Doctor so hard I could hit you so hard that you might regenerate or something like that.
Oh, don't remind me of that line.
Wish someone did 13th. The 13th's going to generate, someone's just going to hit her hard. They're just going to give up and just lose it, just go whack.
No, I'm telling you, I won't be surprised if it's something really stupid with her. Like,
yeah, someone throws her in front of a bus.
Well, no, not like that. I've got a feeling, and obviously we won't know until we see it, that like the other Doctors, it was pretty well telegraphed how they were going to die, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a feeling you won't like know until that episode airs, and it's just going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, Chris Chibnall, when she regenerates, it'll be over. It'll be something stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Food poisoning, it'll be.
Like, it won't be like a Capaldi, like making everybody else go forward so he can stand and make a sort of last fight against a whole. Like, how many Cybermen did he end up fighting against, like, in his last moments?
Tons.
It won't be like a Tennant sacrificing himself for Wilf.
Yeah.
It won't be a Chris sort of doing the same sort of thing for Rose. And it won't be like with Matt when it was, I'm going to live out my life actually and protect the little village.
You just know that Chris Chibnall is going to give her a speech about how she loves the doll or something. Like, because he copies other people.
Well, no, he'll do a speech about how she was so important. That's what he'll do. It'll be the most self-congratulative speech we've seen in a while.
Well, she will be remembered, all right, for all the wrong things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Sorry to go back to. I always words. I always think with Capaldi, like he'd shout at me, and I'd be absolutely scared. Like,
yeah.
But then he'd be fine with me. Like he'd have his moment of bawling at me, and then we just sort of would make up afterwards. Well, I've always
David's
thought with
Doctor would be worse.
With Matt's Doctor, like he wouldn't make up with you if you did something bad enough. He would just sort of wreck your life, sort of. That's what I've always got the impression of 11.
Yeah.
Like he'd hold a grudge, whereas Capaldi's Doctor would just have a big shouting.
I think 10 would be quite bad.
Well, when Tennant was angry in his stories, Like, I mean, you really believe that he could.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Time Lord Victorious after the Waters of Mars, how he went a bit crazy, where he'd finally had enough of losing people.
Yeah.
What he did. That's the fury, and he even says it in Voyager. That's the fury of the Time Lord. You don't. You don't.
Well, yeah. After I've just said that, I've just thought of Human Earth 2-parter. That's pretty like dire what he does to the family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Tennant, maybe Tennant's one that if you think about, he would probably be up there for a Doctor you really wouldn't get on the wrong side of.
Yeah.
This is a good cracking story. This really is. I'm enjoying this. Lee, how are you enjoying it so far, mate?
Yeah, it's so I'm not a fan of Williams, to be honest.
Are you not?
No.
Could I ask why?
But yeah, it's I do remember it better than I thought I did. But it's a good sort of psycho thriller siege thing, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, JFO's just made me think of a scene with Tennant in Idiot's Lantern when he absolutely balls at the dad.
Yeah.
That's fury, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, little Amy, I forgot this scene.
I know we've not got there yet, have we?
What?
I was going to say, I don't think we've got to Little Amy yet, have we?
Isn't the guy who played the this sort of Naimon-esque Minotaur thing? Isn't he like the new Darth Vader?
Yes, I was on top 40 actually, because this was broadcast as an anniversary this week of this episode. So
that's right. Yeah.
They were saying that now the actor is now currently Vader.
Right, tell me when you get to the Amy part, because my DVD, for some weird reason, did skip, actually.
Yeah, Amy's literally now just looking at her door, so she's not even gone in it yet.
Oh, she on your woman, and your woman goes to her and tells her what you're looking at?
Yeah, that's the scene that I'm on.
Go for me. So let me know when you get to do. Yeah, my disc is at the fucking skipper.
I was thinking, like, we're not, like I said, and I really love that scene, so I'd be quiet, like, or I'd noticed it when that scene came.
But this is where, but it's very interesting in this episode, because this is the episode where Matt Smith, basically, Doctor, tells Amy that she can't be reliant on him anymore.
Yeah, he breaks her. He breaks her trust, and I think it's such an interesting idea that a Doctor. I know with Sylvester's run they did it in a fashion, but I think in the new run to do that, I think it was a very sort of, I hate to use the word, but almost a bold thing to do, to have a Doctor do that.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Daniel. Really appreciate that. Yeah, me and Lee always have a bit of banter on the streams as well.
Oh, here we go. Matt's going to have another flipping moment.
Yeah.
The reason why me and Lee work so well on these streams is because even if we disagree about something, right, we do have strong opinions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they're just that. They're just opinions, and we're able to move on and get on with each other. And that's the way it should always be. And that's the way the fandom used to be. It's so sad the way it's gone. You know?
So I like this bit when they talk about the stammer and the speech therapy. It feels natural. Just sort of like, oh, because here we go, idiots. Disability, a character with a disability.
Yeah.
And I think this is done way better than Ryan ever got done in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, it was like Ryan was like, they put Ryan with a disability and they didn't understand the disability. It's like, I've got mild dyspraxia and I understand it more than they do.
Well, let's just say I couldn't speak actual words when I was a kid. I literally had to teach myself how to speak.
Right, don't forget to remind me when you get to the scene where they're in Amy's room and little Amy is there, so I can press play because I literally paused it.
Yeah, for PD. When I saw that stuff, I was really angry because I was like, this is not how you do it.
I was like, how that's not dyspraxia. They'll be able to throw a ball or something. More than that.
What he did, he just basically, it just felt like he put into Google the term, looked at like the first couple sentences on Wikipedia and was like, right, that's how I'm going to write Ryan.
Yeah. Ryan should be running around. If he had severe dyspraxia, he should be running around like Jar Jar bloody Binks. It's the only way I could describe it. He'd be like dropping everything and not being able to catch anything or not being able to hit a key on a keyboard right. Loads of stuff. And it's like they just wrote about, he can't throw a ball, he can't ride a bike. Like,
Yeah, and do you remember they did the pathetic basketball scene with his friends?
Yeah, that was supposed to show progress.
He bomb then where Jodie Whittaker's doctor kills off 75% of the population that's left because she's incompetent.
Yeah,
no,
genocide.
Like I said, the thing that did get me about that was the praise I saw, and I was just like,
here we go, room number 11.
You have no idea.
What?
Yeah,
room number 11.
Yeah, the doctor's just looking at his door, and he's just looking into it.
Oh my God, you are miles behind.
Yeah, I'm on 31 minutes, if you want to
Yeah, I'm in 31 minutes as well.
Yeah, 31:16.
Right, hold on. Can I go back a little bit?
How do you always manage to get the wrong time? I don't understand you, Noel.
He's running at double speed. He's doing a Crystal D.
Oh, this is heartbreaking in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Right,
has Matt Smith gone into his room yet?
He's
he's in his room.
He's away.
We're just on the bit where Rita's on the security cameras.
Yeah,
and he's talking to her.
Oh, for God's sake, that's back again. What's going on? This DVD.
Rita's just entering the room.
So is Matt running down the stairs?
No, he's in the security room with all the. He's just talking to Rita. Because she knows the creature's coming for her, so she's just talking to him.
Yeah, there's going to be such a good retrospective on the ancient gods or something, and just to turn into it.
Right, when Matt is running down the hallway and finds our jewellery, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fireworks are gone now. Tate's going to start screaming.
Oh, is it the start of fireworks season? It's not a night anymore, it's 3 months a year.
Oh, no.
No, he's still on the phone.
And I think what it's so, like, just look at this. Like, this character, she's in one episode. And look at how her death is being treated. It's been done so with, like, sentiment. And you can see the doctor and Matt is acting like he's absolutely, like, desperate to get to her. And then you've got this idea of her saying, I don't want you to see this.
Yeah.
So that's such a human thing as well, of almost wanting to hide your end to your loved ones or friends.
Yeah.
Remember when Matt Smith's doctor is running down the hallway?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, she's just being taken by the creature now.
Right, so we're nearly there.
I was quite disappointed it wasn't an Imon.
Yeah, that's it. I wish it was a Naimon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with ancient gods.
I might have got some fingerprints on it, Daniel, when I was taking out that stupid DVD box set. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, give it clean afterwards, then.
The doctor's just very hissy fit.
Yeah, he's an aiming warrior, just trying not to look at him.
Everyone's in the bar. Which is where I wish I could go. We can't because of all this lockdown business. I haven't been to a bar in ages, since summer. That was outside. When's the last time anyone else was in a pub?
Oh,
I have
God
been in the
knows.
pub since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's realising now.
Yeah.
He's basically been condemning them all.
Sake, Ted is fucking. She got that window open. No, she doesn't. Why is it something out like that? Poor fucking dog. I don't know what's wrong with him, man.
No, and also what I love about this idea is it's when we think of faith, we do tend to just zero in on religious faith. But this episode is exploring the fact that faith can take so many different forms. It could be literally like a religious, like I said, or it can just be a gambler who has his little like, oh, I have to wear this, or I have to do this before I go to give me luck. It's such a lovely idea to explore.
Yeah.
And obviously,
faith in heart, yeah,
and obviously now it's it's Amy's faith in the Doctor. So it's the faith in our loved ones and the people we sort of really grow to trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I almost think it's a bit of a meta comment on like the audience having faith in the Doctor.
Yeah.
How we always think, oh, he'll always save them, he'll always win.
Yeah.
But we assume the Doctor's always going to win because he's that clever. He can assess situations and more than we can.
Yeah.
Right. So where are you exactly now?
36:45.
No, I can't do it
6:48
on the PlayStation. You give us what's the scene?
They're in the bar. They're just about to start arguing.
The doctor's just said to Amy, it's the creatures feeding off your faith in me scene.
And David Williams is
right, now he's running up the corridor now.
Is David Williams at the table eating nuts?
Was.
Well, they're just running up the corridor, mate. You told us.
No, that was a scene beforehand. See, I'm confused now. You have to tell me exactly what's going on in the scene.
Right, now we're seeing little Amy. Now we're seeing little Amy.
Right, so we're in the room with little Amy. Right, Grant.
Yeah.
Right, we're up to date then. Right, Grant. Good. She's sitting on our little suitcase, yeah?
That's the one.
Right, good.
Oh, the scene. It gets me.
It does.
Your childhood, and now I've led you.
Yeah, so he's making her lose faith in him.
I knew this would happen, and this always happens.
It's very similar to the Seventh Doctor with Ace, isn't it? He just manipulate her to save him.
And
I like that bit of the Doctor. He's quite manipulative and cunning, and this is how he can tries to win round his companions.
I was going to say this version of Amy's theme.
Did they put this on a soundtrack? I don't think they did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid. This is a really good version.
All the great stuff. He never puts it on the soundtrack. The great variants.
Yeah, because
it's the same repetitive crap from the last soundtrack.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube though, unreleased. Yeah. You can watch the unreleased stuff that they never put in the soundtracks. There's a YouTube channel dedicated to it, and it's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go watch that.
I'm just a madman in a box. That's what you should always be, Doctor.
Yeah, we've caught up exactly the same. I got a bang on. I got a bang on. Oh, you can see our heart breaking though. Look.
Yeah.
You can see the Doctor heart's breaking.
I know, because he knows he has to do it. Amy Williams. Do you notice? I think that's the first time he actually called her Amy Williams.
Yes, it's a lovely little sign to show he's accepting her grown up.
Ah.
Oh, I miss these two.
Making me all upset now.
I so miss these two.
I know.
Yeah.
This is the last episode of Amy and Rory. You know, this Amy and Rory.
Yeah, the ending. That's another moment that gets me in this one.
Yeah.
And the Doctor feels sorry for the creature as well.
Well, he always feels sorry for the creature.
Yeah, because is the creature trapped or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's being used by some other creatures to harvest everything.
And it basically had been left, hadn't it?
Yeah.
This doctor lost a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's because this doctor got so connected. It's like, like I said, I don't know if this is my bias again speaking, but I honestly think the 11th Doctor and Amy, they got so like intrinsically like close to each other. And
Yeah,
I
it's
think because of
very like the holodeck in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's what I hate about this. The
They
grid
were
lines
a
on the floor.
family.
I was like,
That's
it's
the
Star
thing.
Trek.
People call it a fam, right? This era. This was the fam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she met him when she was a child.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
he was always going
Cat in the Night.
to be.
There you go, Naimon. He mentions the Naimon.
Yeah.
And I think Moffat was so clever doing that because obviously, if you meet somebody like the Doctor when you're a child, it's going to make him seem bigger and more impressive than he actually is. And I think that meant there was always going to be a time when the Doctor had to do this to Amy.
Yeah.
Compare that to.
The Doctor is explaining it now, mate. You're saying the story's too complicated for me. The Doctor is explaining it now.
Yeah.
I love that one. So what did the Time Lords pray to? And he doesn't answer.
Yeah, probably themselves.
Yeah, and he ignored the question. Do you know?
Completely ignores it. Yeah.
Vanity.
The creature. I love this speech.
Yeah.
Drenched in the blood of the innocent.
Oh man.
Death would be a gift. And like, look at him. He's thinking, and then it just clicks. Who he's talking about?
And the music, that same music they play when anybody dies in Matt Smith's era. This music is always. You can see how devastated he is.
Yeah.
Because he knows. Whenever the Doctor faces the truth, he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where he brings them home.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think this is one of my favourite lines near the end of Amy's ever. What she says about why he's doing it.
I do like that TARDIS exterior. It completely stands out with the white window frames.
Yeah. It's the old window
clean.
frames.
Too clean.
I got Rory a car.
Is that the Ari window frames? The Ari ones have white window frames.
See, that goes to show you though that he knew everything about Amy and Rory, what their likes and dislikes were. So he obviously must have travelled in time when they weren't around.
Yeah, but that box it's completely wooden. It's the window frames are wooden, and in a real police box they're kind of galvanized steel.
No, concrete.
Frames.
They
iron.
might have steel frames, but they're clad in concrete, and only the doors were wood.
Yeah.
And if you look at all the older TARDISes, they look like
very concrete.
Concrete.
This scene is brilliant.
How they got that?
Because you're still breathing. It's such a simple line.
Oh no.
And it's so stark, and it does what it needs to do. It's basically saying, I haven't killed you yet.
Yeah.
And like that shows also how much the Doctor, like that shows a bit of how much he sees himself.
Yeah.
That he's not this adventurer. He's not this almost this beam of good in the world. He just sees himself as the bringer of death almost.
Yeah.
I love this line from the Doctor coming up now. You dead, standing over your grave. That is
literally does.
It's literally the same as what he said to Rose, that he's a Time Lord, that he'll outlive her and all that, and she'll wither and die. And how could you watch that happen to someone you love?
I think the difference is, and that's what I like, it's the same idea, you're right. But I think with Matt's, he's talking more about the responsibility of being the cause, being the reason of that death. Whereas in Tennant, he's just saying, naturally, I'm going to live longer than you. So it's like in Matt's, it's a lot more it's full of self-hate almost.
Yeah.
Whereas with Tennant, it's not, it's just him saying, well, if we use biological and how I know I work, I'm going to outlive you.
Oh, look at how emotional he is. I'm going to cry.
And he's just about crying as well. I mean, he's a complete different side to the Doctor.
Yeah.
The look he gives her here. Ah, he hate. You can tell. This was a family. This was a proper family. Rory with the 3 glasses. Is it 3 glasses? I think it was 3 glasses in his hand.
Yeah.
This line from Amy is brilliant here. He's saying,
fingers.
Wow.
Oh
my God. Wow. Matt Smith, I forgot how emotional this actually was at the end.
Yeah, I think because we did this a while ago, didn't we, for like a Halloween or something, and I was watching it again, and I was literally like wiping my eyes at this bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this, he's just alone in the TARDIS.
The Doctor should never be alone.
No, especially not in this fashion, I think.
But it's how he affects people, and he kind of realizes really do not like.
Listen,
James Corden.
Hold on. Before you start complaining, right? You take him at I know he's a twat, right?
Yeah. Woke Cinderella, produced it.
Okay, he's a twat, but you know, you've got to judge him on this story. And anyway, I thought it was ridiculous anyway. Love defeats the fucking Cybermen anyway. So this is not a particular favourite story of mine, but it was nice to see him back because at that time we weren't pissed off with him or annoyed with him.
Yeah. You hired someone who couldn't sing for Woke Cinderella.
Oh, that's the least of that movie's problems.
Yeah.
Oh,
can't sing.
I've been watching clips of that, and I tell you, it's so cringe. But do us a favour, folks, everybody in the chat, right? Give us our scores and dry our eyes because I have a little.
Yeah, Craig's last episode is closing time. Thank God. Yeah, it is closing time.
Yeah, I actually got a little bit weepy there.
Closing time for him.
Yeah, on Doctor Who. Never saw him again, thankfully.
Give you our scores. So we'll start off with PD Rich P. Go on. What's your rating?
I'll give this one an 8. I quite liked it. And it's got some good points. It's got a lot of kind of Doctor Who lore in it. I just didn't like the holodeck ending or the stereotypical the geek. It's like always the same stuff. Do you think Klingon? All this. It's like, oh God, did you just get that out of a writer's book? It's like, that's my only problem with it. But yeah, I gave it an 8. It was an alright episode in the end.
Okay, that's brilliant. Lee.
Yeah, it's apart from the Williams annoying character, it's a compelling story. It's a psychodrama. Do you like those? It's very claustrophobic. You got the sort of base on the siege thing going on, but I think the highlight really of the episode above all was touching closing scenes at the end there, which I think really gave this episode that depth. You know, I think it sort of started really with the sort of the young Amy sort of scene. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5. That's wow. I'm actually surprised by that. Well done. Love it. Real super Doctor.
Actually, I think this episode was quite good. It was quite challenging. It challenged the companions and all that, and I like the bit with the end while the Doctor was wanting to save Amy and Rory by letting them have their lives and just exit their lives. I quite like that bit as well, and I find it very emotional as well. I would give this a 9 out of 10. I quite liked it, and I like the monster as well. But it would have been better if it was a Nimon and that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Queenie?
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 10 because I think this episode is a really good example of you sometimes need the Doctor to lose. You sometimes can't have the heroic, everything's good, everything's brilliant ending to an episode. Because, yes, even the monster, it turns out it's not really evil, it's not like picking people off on purpose, it's just surviving and it's been left to go to that state. So even defeating the monster isn't a victory. It's a very sad affair and it's sort of quite bitter almost. And then you add on that he's had to break the faith in Amelia, and he's ended up leaving them at the end. So I think this is a very sort of dour episode in bits, and you need that sometimes. You sort of need that reality check, and you need the Doctor to sort of be challenged because of that, and to, like I said, I think that's what really I love about this episode is that the Doctor has to, like you've sort of said, he has to give up an awful lot here. And he's doing it because he knows the alternative. Like the line said, I'm stopping this because I'm going to be standing over your grave. You're still breathing. It's very sort of stark what he's saying, and it's sort of that idea of the consequences of traveling with the Doctor is weaving throughout this story. And I do think that needs to be addressed now and again in the show. It can't sort of be kept as this, oh, you just have fun adventures for a bit and then you go home safe. No. Sometimes that happens with a companion, but that's a rarity, especially in the newer episodes. Nearly all the companions, bar and Martha, have had really bad endings if you really think about it, and Martha only had a better ending because she got out.
Yeah.
She was the one who decided to walk away. So
and the same with Tegan.
Yeah, so I almost don't think now I've said that.
You did it twice.
Yeah.
Maybe the Doctor is almost thinking, well, Martha did this and she didn't get as messed up as the rest of them, so I'll be the one to do it. Because I think with Amy, like I said, because of the relationship she had with the Doctor and it being this very personal one, this, like, met him as a little child, was waiting for him for 12, I can't remember how many years now. Like, he came back and he's sort of like this fantastical figure more than the other companions. So I don't think Amy would ever walk away of her own accord. And I think the Doctor also knew that he had to be the one to break it. Because Amy would just keep on travelling. Rory might walk away at a point, but I think Amy was, and that's, if you think about what the episode's talking about, her faith, that is showing how strong it is.
Yeah.
So this is, if you really like drill down, I think there's so much going on in this episode with the Doctor, with Amy, with the idea of a Doctor and a companion, if you want to go a bit meta. And I think this is when the show can do meta, when it's not being such an obvious wink to the fans, when it's just saying, because this show's been going for 50 plus years at this point, there's a lot of themes and over sort of arcing things that you can just deal with and address, but tailor it to that Doctor or that companion. So I just think that this is one of the, because this is Whithouse, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is a Whithouse episode, and this is, when I watch this episode, this is why I understand a bit why some people want him to be a showrunner. But like I said, but not to go to that too much, but I just think this is Doctor Who really showing how adult and serious and dramatic it can be in the right way. So 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with you, Charlotte. Everything that you've said. I think there's a lot going on in this story. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. But I just love the dynamic between Amy and the doctor, and the fact that, you know, he's trying to make her see, you know, don't have all of this faith in me because, you know, and we know why he's doing it because he's trying obviously to save her. But that end scene, always, you know, I actually got very emotional there watching that.
Yeah.
That line I'm leaving because I'm saving you. That resonated because let's be honest, you know, up until that point, I suppose, if you look at it, the doctor's always been a bit of a, I say Jack the Lad is the wrong kind of, but he's carefree and fancy free, if you know what I mean. And yes, while people have died on his watch, you know, I think he's just got to a point with Abe because the relationship is so personal because he did, you know, imprint himself in our early life. He really did, like, love Amy and Rory. And that line where he says, well, what's the alternative? Me standing beside your grave. That resonated, like, you know, I think the doctor had come full circle, to be quite honest, and, you know, could see that, you know, if he could continue down this path, that he could very easily lose his little family. That was his family. The Amy and Rory was his family, like, you know. So for me, this is a 10. I said that I thought the last episode was great as well, but this is definitely a 10. Matt Smith is just brilliant, and again, facial expressions tell a lot in this. He is brilliant. He's fast becoming my favorite doctor of all time. To be quite honest with you, every time I see him on screen, he's just look. The talks about David to bring Matt Smith back. I say,
oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good for a guy as well.
Affect David Tennant. Bring back Matt Smith's doctor, because there's so much more emotion there. You know, when you're watching it, you know you can feel his emotion, and it resonates quite a lot with me. But this story is kind of heartbreaking. I have to be honest. But look, we're never going to get a doctor like that again. I don't think. To be quite honest with you, I think Matt Smith's doctor was quite unique. Troughton-esque, as I've always said, because Troughton kind of had similar traits as well. You know, you could tell he really cared about who he was traveling with. Whereas David Tennant, you know, like, well, I'm not saying he didn't care for roles and stuff like that, but, you know, he moved on from that pretty quick enough after the Smith and Jones episode.
See, I would argue it was different. It wasn't like with Tennant's doctor. He enjoyed the flirting. He enjoyed having the attention off Rose and, like, probably Martha, because I think he did know a little bit. He was just being a bit.
I think Christmas yet, do the doctor.
Yeah, so he enjoyed the flirting. He enjoyed being the sort of ladies' man. Whereas with Matt's doctor, all of that sort of went and got replaced with almost like the grandfather sort of love.
You could see that with Matt's doctor because he was very uncomfortable when Amy came onto him in the early days.
Yeah, like, and I think that was almost a response to his previous regeneration. He was like, that was my last body who liked the kissing and the flirting. That this body doesn't like that.
Yeah. I agree. This, it's a 10 out of 10. Next week's episode now is going to be very interesting because a lot of the panel don't like James Corden. So I'll be interested to see how he is. I actually think that episode.
I might be ill next week. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
It might make you if you watch it.
Well, I will say I think this is one of the weaker episodes in this era as well. Closing time. And don't get me wrong, at the time everybody was happy to see Craig back with the doctor, and we did have the Stormageddon stuff.
The baby's all right, but
so
it's just Craig.
Yeah, but it's just Craig in this one. I'm not a big fan. But I do love the fact that he's in he's in a clothing store. The environment, and he's going around the supermarket.
I love the scene when he's in the toy shop because that's just Matt's doctor all
playing
over.
with the kids. So I do love that, but yeah, the next episode, yeah, I might be sick of myself actually.
No, we'll have fun roasting it, folks. We'll have fun roasting it.
Yeah, I think me and Lee will just come on. Then as soon as the stream starts, me and Lee will just
quietly disappear to Twitter. Or
drummer solo.
Yeah, but yeah, it's this season, as we said, overall so far has been very hit and miss. When it's a hit, it's a hit. When it's a miss, it's definitely a miss. I forget what's after closing time. Is it the time of the angels? Is it?
No, it's the wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
The wedding of River Song.
No. Oh, it is. It's that wedding of River.
And it's all over. And then we're on to series 7.1.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and then we're on to better series 7.2.
Yeah, I don't like the wedding of River Song. Fucking ridiculous story. But that's just my. Yeah. How did they not know it's the Tesseract? It doesn't even make sense, man. That's Moffat again. But we'll get into that when that comes. Because again, as Lee has rightly pointed out, the way these other fans go on, we only ever had a problem with the Chris Chibnall era. That is a blatant falsehood. I've had problems with the era, especially Moffat. You all know how I feel about Moffat. So it's a false narrative. We've had plenty of things to say about the Moffat era.
I mean, for God's sake, I know, because some of them I know would have been around when the Moffat era happened. We were all like celebrating when he announced he was leaving.
I know. I was delighted he was gone.
I mean, when Russ left,
a legit feeling in fandom.
About time, yeah.
I do believe he stayed on too long anyway. I think he should have went after Matt Smith went. That was my personal feeling. He should have went after Smith and decided to give up the role, but he didn't. But in fairness, though, the Peter Capaldi era, while it is flawed, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's perfect, it is flawed. But I do think near the end he got it right, especially with Series 10. I think he did get it right. I think that's one of his best seasons, to be quite honest with you. Season 10 with Peter Capaldi.
I like 9 and 10. Cool, I can't stand 8 though.
I'll do that, but I like 8 as well. That's the thing. I actually like every single season of Capaldi. Yet there's a few stories in there that I didn't like the Robin Hood one. I thought that was ridiculous. But overall, I was pretty okay with the Peter Capaldi era. I maybe when we get there, because we'll get there soon, and we start watching Peter.
But some people don't like season 7 part 2, and I love series 7 part 2. It's the build up to the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
I love the name of the
Doctor. What I wanted to ask is, are we doing, when we do the watch-alongs, are we going to do them in order? Are we going to do the 50th anniversary?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah obviously.
Yeah.
Right then. I just want to make sure. That's it. So we doing the Christmas
in the tears when Tom turns up. Yeah.
What's the fucking Christmas special after this?
Doctor the Widow in the Wardrobe.
No. Okay. We'll skip that one. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we've skipped all the other Christmas specials, haven't we? So.
Yeah. Well, we did actually. You're right.
Skip all the specials. Yeah.
You're right.
Apart from the the Christmas Carol one.
But I will say this: it will be very interesting when we do watch Peter Capaldi's era, to see if the opinions on the panel slightly change when we watch it, or is it as bad as everybody that doesn't like it remembers it. But for me, I think the Peter Capaldi era gets a bit too much stick.
Yeah.
It does. But we'll see.
Compared to this
season, people didn't like it, especially the younger fans, because he gave us a more grumpy doctor, a darker doctor. And I like that. But season 9, then he tried to get the balance right between, and I don't think he got the balance right, but I still enjoyed the stories. But season 10, he got the balance absolutely perfect. And Pearl Mackie was the perfect casting, and Matt Lucas as part of that trio was inspired casting by Stephen Moffat, in my opinion. But when we get there, we'll see if everybody still has the same opinions about the Peter Capaldi era. But so far, the Matt Smith era is hit and miss. And remember, Clara comes very soon. Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not. I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, she's all right. She's all right until Series 8, and she's out of control. She's like someone let her off the lead.
Totally out of control, and it's her attitude as well. I mean, slap. If saying that to the doctor, she'll slap the doctor so hard he'll regenerate and all that, and all that carry on with Danny Pink and all that. I just thought it was just a bit too much.
Daniel says, I nearly quit Doctor Who during Series 7. I hated it. Card Witch says, I liked Series 7. Recently we rewatched 7B and it was better than I remember. See, this is what I'm saying. We've been watching a lot of this because of what we've gotten now, right? I think, and I did say this about the Capaldi era as well. You know, I think over time people will revisit the Peter Capaldi era, and I think they'll be much kinder to it than they were originally. That's my feeling on it. Anyway. Matthew says, Nardal did my head in. So irritating. Well, you know, we have different strokes for different folks. That's the same.
I actually quite like Hellbent. I know people despise Hellbent.
Yeah. Oh, I do despise Hellbent.
I like bits of it, but there are bits that is wrong with it. It's not the greatest finisher. It's a bit like the Wedding River song. But...
Well, it's the same story with most of the Moffat stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a bad finisher, isn't he? He's a bad finisher.
He starts off very well.
Yeah.
The build-up is great, and then the second half...
The payoff is always a bit dodgy with
he always managed to pay things off because he understood the audience. You know, it's like when you were expecting the big bad at the end, you got the big bad. And it was very, very pleasing. And, you know,
I did like Face of the Raven, though.
Expectations.
I like that 3-part stuff. No, I like the Face of the Raven.
That's the problem. Clara should have died. She stayed dead after Face the Raven, and then he
then Heaven Sent he's mourning her. But then when you get the Hell Bent, then we know what happens.
Should have had Victoria and Clara. That's the big mistake right there. They should have had.
Yeah, Victoria and Clara should have stuck with. Clara isn't even as bad as I remember. Says Cardwitch. And they also love Hellbent. Clara was violent, says the third Doctor. Heaven Sent was perfection, says Matthew Pounder. And Dave says, oh, no, not Clara. Opinions are divided.
And that's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, Clara and just before Mummy on the Orient Express, when she turned up, I just felt like slapping her when she turned up.
I love a monster.
Leave the Doctor alone. Give me an episode alone.
Some people love Hellbent. That's the way it goes. People will love. Some people love Fair Whore.
I like it for all the wrong reasons.
You know, I don't like that story either. But again, it's personal choice. But I do agree with Matthew Pounder. I think we're all in agreement that Heaven Sent is perfection. I don't care what anybody says. To me, it's the best Doctor Who story.
Heaven Sent was brilliant. Yeah.
And that's including in Classic Who, and there's been some great Classic Who stories.
I didn't like Heaven Sent when I first saw it, but when I saw it, I thought, this is genius.
It's a great story.
It's so cerebral. You do need to watch it a few times.
It's definitely up there with some of the classic episodes. I mean, I'm class it as above. I mean, it's a very New Who's a very different animal. Let's be honest.
I agree. That's why there is
it's definitely a modern classic.
That's why there is a distinction, though. That's why we do say Classic Who and New Who. And some fans say, well, there shouldn't be a distinction. It's all Doctor Who. I disagree. New Who is a completely different animal to Classic Who. And as a Doctor Who fan, I'm good with that. You know, obviously the show was going to be updated for a modern audience, and they were going to go with their take on it. But let's be honest, we all fell in love with the Russell T Davies era. You know, we hit the ground running. You know, we all, even those fans that hadn't watched Doctor Who since the 80s, start coming back and enjoying this version of Doctor Who. So, I mean, look, there's always going to be a debate. which is better. There is no debate. Classic Who will always be the superior of the two. But there is a difference. That's why we do separate the two, because New Who is nothing like Classic Who, and vice versa. Oh yes, Heaven Sent is indescribably perfect. Heaven Sent is one of my favorite story of all time. Says Daniel.
That's my Capaldi perfect 10. That is.
So, that's like the
Doctor's Wife is a perfect 10 episode.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And Face of the Raven is actually, as someone said, that's a good cracking story as well. The first two stories of that, right? So, because you got Face of the Raven, then you got Heaven Sent. It's Hell Bent that ruins it all. It's Hell Bent that bloody.
Like Moffat.
There's some good ideas, but it's just not very well executed.
Look, when he shoots a Time Lord in the face, right?
Yeah.
When he shoots the Time Lord, right? Murder someone. Don't care if they can regenerate. Still murder, right?
Yeah.
Murder someone. I can't reconcile myself with that. No. I know.
Yeah. And I thought those stages were always set to kill. Yeah.
He's done this, that, and the other. Yeah, but there's a difference, right? There's a difference. If you look at the events and the reasons why he did what he did, you can understand it. But what was his reasons behind shooting the general? I'll never be
one of her regenerations. Yeah, that's not
right. Ask how many more regenerations you got, and then shoots them. No, sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
That was callous. That was very callous.
Yeah.
He could have just knocked her out.
And it wasn't like it was some random Time Lord. It was somebody that supported him when he was like,
it was just
exactly
like ousting
Rassilon.
Rassilon. Like he was a help. He supported him, and then he shoots him.
Yeah. Like he really, really, really hates the Time Lord. Really.
Debate will get
even the good
ones.
That's gonna be a fun stream.
It will be a fun stream. Because I still can't reconcile myself with that episode. I tried to watch it recently on my own, and I got a few minutes in, and then when I seen that scene, I was like, "No, I'm turning it off. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. I just can't deal with that." There was no reason for it, no excuse for him to do that. I don't care how bitter you are over.
Yeah, that's kind of like Moffat when he keeps kind of retconning canon slightly.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
And then he starts going mad. Do you remember when he has that conversation with Clara? Then she goes, "Well, why didn't you just do? You know what I mean? He was punishing himself. Get away, mate."
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's really bad ending. The whole end of that was just terrible.
Yeah, go on, Charlotte.
I was going to say the problem was at that point it was so obvious that Clara was becoming more important than the Doctor in the show.
Yeah.
He definitely did have a hard on for bleeding Clara Oswald with Stephen.
Well, they even put her in the title sequence, didn't they, at one point?
Yeah. Clara who, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that eyes, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a line.
I hate what he took to Twitter and goes, "Well, it's Clara. She doesn't know that she's not the lead character in the show." It's like that doesn't make any sense, Moffat.
But Moffat, you know what you're doing. Just
he started going on Twitter and saying up is down,
I think he did that to appease, but I honestly do believe he did all of this to appease the feminists that were going after him.
Yeah, I can understand it now, but it came out at the time. It's like, you mad, mate? That's why I couldn't stand him at the time. You mad?
Yeah, see, I don't believe that with Clara. It really came across to me like he did have a bit of a weird obsession with that character.
Yeah, it was like
it was more than just him trying to appease certain groups. It came across to me.
Yeah, he's had a obsession with Jenna Coleman. It was like, what? Weird.
Yeah. So he couldn't let her die. He kept making her more and more important.
Yeah.
He kept having more dismissive lines towards the Doctor, and it's just like it's sort of the reverse of what I say about Colin Baker and Perry. Instead of like the companion being in an abusive relationship with the Doctor, the companion was the abuser almost.
That's it,
Doctor.
Daniel has said, Hellbent is projectile vomit splashed on a screen. The third Doctor says her face was even on the title sequence once. Matthew
that was
too many epilogues.
Season 8, yeah.
Do you remember what was it when the TARDIS got shrunk and she basically was running around being the Doctor for the whole episode?
Oh, but I didn't mind that episode. That was the episode with the Drawdens come to life. I didn't mind that story, but Clara was irritating in it.
Then in the episode after,
the Doctor was trapped in the TARDIS. So Clara kind of had to.
Deep
but when
water.
she started,
She was going to be a
but when
doctor
she
as well.
started acting, saying to the doctor, does that mean I'm the doctor? She put there's a line in there somewhere.
Yeah,
where
there is.
similar like that, and I'm like, no, you're not the doctor, you fucking idiot. You're a companion. Now know your place.
Yeah, she got above her station, really.
Yeah, and that was my other thing. Like, she never got
Like a
punished.
millennial, yeah.
Like, when the doctor gets above his station, there's always a consequence.
That's it. She was acting like a complete millennial. It was
and
like,
with her, it was like, oh, I'm just going to carry on acting like
But
this.
in the same episode, doesn't the doctor kind of then give out to her for kind of, because near the end, doesn't he have a word with her and all? He kind of tells her.
He probably does, but I mean, like, consequences to her, like personal consequences.
She's almost like, it's like, present company acceptance. She's almost like behaving like a millennial, and that's what peeved me off.
Smile is underrated. Smile is underrated. Smile's a great story.
Yeah.
I love that emoji episode.
That was a good episode, yeah.
That was very Doctor Who.
Very clever. I'm telling you, season 10, when we get to it, guys, I'm telling you now, you're gonna fall in love with it, because I know by the time people got to Series 10, you were pissed off with what Moffat was doing. And I don't think people gave Series 10 enough credit, to be quite honest with you. And I think once you watch this again and you see the dynamic with Matt Lucas, you see the dynamic between Missy and the Doctor, and the dynamic between Pearl Mackie and the Doctor, or I mean Bill Potts and the Doctor. I'm telling you, you're gonna be really surprised. I even watched the Monks episodes again, and I have to be honest, not as bad as I remember. Quite a clever three-part story, because it was over 3 parts. Remember, I think it was the first triple bill that we got.
The first 2 parts were good.
Yeah, it's the resolution again. It's the end. It's the resolution.
Yeah.
No,
he's not a finisher, Moffat.
He really isn't.
No. Yeah, well, you compare to Jodie, Clara is looking pretty good right now, but Series 10 was brilliant. Yeah, Clara was.
Oh, I don't know.
For Jodie, I disagree with that one now, Matthew. I have to be honest. I think Clara had a lot more about her than Whittaker's Doctor does. Let's be honest. I know you don't like Clara, but seriously, I think that's unfair to actually say about Clara.
Yeah,
because she's nothing like Whittaker. No way.
Yeah, she can act. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
at least Clara had something about her to have good points. Clara did have some good points. She did have some good points, and she did have some good traits. But Jodie Whittaker's Doctor doesn't have any of that. She doesn't.
It was Moffat's writing to let Clara get out of control. It wasn't Clara. It wasn't the actor herself. It wasn't Jenna Coleman getting out of control.
No, actually, there were a few things after Who, and I was like, oh, you can actually act quite well.
Right, let's do the channel chat outs, because we're gonna finish up now, because we had a long night last night and stuff, and I want to get a bit of rest, sit down and relax, because as I said, Ted has been up and down as well, so I'm gonna have to bring him out on a longer walk or something now. Apparently, like the 5-minute walks that I bring him on is not good enough, so I have to bring him out for at least 15-20 minutes. So I'll be bringing him for a walk after the stream. So if everybody could do their channel shout out. So we'll start with you, Charlotte. Go ahead.
Yep, so on Monday I'm on the Dutch Doctor Who channel, where we're talking First Doctor, so if you want a bit of classic, just into detail talk. And then Thursday I'm with Dan, and then Friday me and Daniel do Line of Duty.
Fantastic. Lee.
Yeah, at Being Problem on Twitter, All Dread Audio Visual, my other channel on YouTube.
Brilliant. PD.
You can normally find me in the chat on Rabbi's channel every 3 times a week on the Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday for Complicated Consequences.
Fantastic. And Real Super Doctor.
I've got a Twitter account under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a YouTube channel under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic. And you'll catch me here tomorrow for the Movie Zone. Don't forget to check it out. We're doing Outland. PD is going to be joining us for that one. So we will talk to you all. Thank you everybody in the chat anyway for joining us today, and we shall talk to you all tomorrow. Say good night, panel.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
I was just waiting.
Why not? Just at the end. Just be kind.